Peace and blessings, beloveds. Here be I, Astarius Miraculi, to share some additional meditation tips with you. You might want to refer to the previous video that is called Meditation Tips. This one is Meditation Tips Part 2. I want to reiterate something that I spoke about before with regards to the dust mask. I've got a lot of amazing reports from people that have had some tremendous blessings and benefit from working with the dust mask. Basically, what you're going to do is put your essential oils in the dust mask, and there is an award-winning trinity of oils that work phenomenally, and that is peppermint, eucalyptus, and lavender. Now you can play around with all different variations, but those three I have found are phenomenal. So you want 2 drops of the peppermint, 2 drops of eucalyptus, and 2 drops of lavender, not more than 3 of each. If it becomes a little bit overpowering, well, ideally you want to be able to get the mask completely over the nostrils like that. But if by chance too much oil runs out at one time and it's too strong, then you put the mask on in this way, where the nostrils are partly inhaling into the mask and partly outside, and that will lessen the intensity if you make it too strong. This helps you to breathe and just brings in a greater resonance of that connection to the breath. So definitely work with the dust mask. Another thing that's really powerful is learning to milk the light out of the shadow. Milk the light out of the darkness. And you do that by way of connecting here in the pit of the stomach, here in the solar plexus. So when you're in the breathing mode, you breathe in very, very deeply and you draw the solar plexus in. You can take your finger and sort of push in while you simultaneously draw in. Ultimately, you want to let that go and then hold that solar plexus in. It's almost as if you're going to literally pull it outside the back of your body, and what that does is it milks, the light out of the dark energies, and it milks blockages out of the solar plexus, which is that focalization of such deep feeling within us. You can hold it in while you're breathing. You could use the I am simultaneously, inhale I, exhale am, while simultaneously drawing in on that solar plexus. What you'll realize as you get underway is that it then begins to govern the flow of your breath. The breath will then begin to breathe you. It's extremely, extremely powerful. Another thing in the healing ways, there's a technique that Spirit taught me from within called feather up and feather down, as well as when you are working with healing energy, when all of the digits are connecting and drawn together in that way, there's an acceleration of energy. We have on each hand, we have 4 healing accelerators. Everywhere 2 digits touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's just like when you're in your car and you step on the gas and the car accelerates. When you're working with healing energy, which is also going to take you deeper into your meditation, when you gently squeeze the fingers together, the energy then amplifies. It's like a healing accelerator. You squeeze the fingers together, automatically the healing frequency tremendously accelerates. Same thing in the car. Now, you probably never tried to intellectually decipher why it is when you step on the gas that the car goes faster. You just know that when you do that, that's the result that you get. You don't even think about, why does the car go faster when I step on the gas? So let that be the same thing with regards to squeezing the fingers together. Don't try to strain your brain in figuring out why that happens. It does, in fact, happens. And the further away you are from trying to intellectually decipher it, the more powerful it becomes for you. So you gently squeeze the fingers together. The energy amplifies. You can do this while working on yourself or on another. So when you gently squeeze the fingers together, you'll notice that the energy begins to amplify. Likewise, when you gently push up on the forehead when you're working with the first eye, this is called feather up. But it's hands like feathers. They're connecting, but they're as light as a feather in the way that they're making contact and touching here on the forehead. When you gently pull up on the forehead, which is feather up, what happens is the energy begins to elevate up into the celestial heights. And so this is the way that you're able to take yourself into celestial exaltation or another person. Now likewise, when you very gently pull down on the brow, that's feather down, it takes the energy down into a grounded place within the body. Feather up and feather down, extremely powerful, while simultaneously using it in the squeezing of the fingers together. Many of you who have practiced Reiki, have been taught to always keep the fingers connected, as was I in being taught Reiki, and now I teach Reiki. But Spirit showed me not just keeping the fingers together, but if they're gently squeezed together, not tension squeeze, but a gentle squeeze, the energy then tremendously accelerates, tremendously powerful, combined with feather up and feather down. Now, there's another powerful mastery that you can establish with breath, and that is while you're inhaling in your meditative state, inhaling in such a way that the windpipe is only open maybe 1/3 the diameter that it usually is open. So then it becomes like pressing air through a tube. This creates a laser of breath, makes the breath really powerful, can take you into a deeper state of ecstasy, in a easier way. When the breath is, if you were to hear it, it would sound something like, as if it's a constriction in the windpipe. But we're not trying to make that sound, so there's going to be that inhalation. So now I'm going to actually demonstrate this one for you, and I'd like for you to tap into it with me. Imagine that you were turning the dial of your soul to Infinite Meditation Mastery 101.IM. But you're going to also turn the dial of your soul to, all of the mastery of Astarius Miraculi 101.IM. So, just like turning the radio dial and making a connection, then you automatically just tap into whatever it is that is there. So I'm going to convey this to you telepathically, and you may even feel a shifting of your breathing inside to show you what I'm doing as I breathe internally. Constricting the windpipe on the inhalation takes me into a state of ecstasy. Here it is. And so there is the technique. Use these meditation tips to empower yourself. I thank you for receiving this energy, empowering yourself, loving yourself. Thank you for visiting my website and listening to sound clips of my albums, as well as reading excerpts from my book. Thank you for the opportunity to do a one-on-one session for you as well. You'll find all of the information on my profile. I love you so much. Peace and blessings.